I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
What can be unburdened by what has been? 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 What we
single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're going to, I've been proposing that everybody, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I did not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was Vice President, down to a 6. And wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum.
Yo, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Damn Thorough. For those of you new to the channel, please like, subscribe, dislike, do what you like, because over here we dive deep. My team got another reaction for y'all. For those who are new to the channel, this is a reaction channel where we discuss all current events, politics, relationships. Just basically talking amongst men, some ladies, hopefully. But hopefully, at the end of the day, we're about getting the outcome we desire by making better choices and better decisions and informed decisions. That's what this channel is about, y'all. Right now, this is off Fox News, Jesse Watters Prime Time. You can go to Fox News, and if you want to look this up, and I'm going to react to this. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Just here to not change your vote or anything like that. We're just here to have a discussion, y'all. So without further ado, let's go on get to it.
Welcome to a special edition of Jesse Watters Prime Time. Tomorrow, the DNC officially kicks off. The primetime team's already in Chicago, causing some trouble. It's what we do best. But right before the Democrats' big day, Kamala made the biggest mistake of her campaign. She told us what her plans were. Kamala wants to control the price of food.
I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food. My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules.
Princess Kamala wasn't supposed to have plans.
Seems like I've heard this done before. It sounds very familiar. Very ambitious and ambiguous goals, Miss Kamala Harris. Let's see where she's going with this.
Or whatever those plans were, she was supposed to hide them until after the election. But now she wants to pick the price of bacon? Kamala knows what a head of lettuce should cost, even though she hasn't been in a grocery store in 4 years. The princess just waves her magic wand and poof, a loaf of bread's $2.50. Why didn't anyone else think of that? Well, a lot of people did. And it's been a disaster every time. 2,000 years ago, Roman Emperor Diocletian put in a price control, punishable by death. Prices went up, and merchants started selling goods on the black market. The Soviets tried it too. That ended in bread lines. Even President Nixon gave it a shot.
The time has come for decisive action. Action that will break the vicious circle of spiraling prices and costs. I am today ordering a freeze on all prices and wages throughout the United States for a period of 90 days.
Nixon's price freeze.
See, I knew I heard this before. See, the issue I have with this plan is that it's like insanity, right? You say that you want to keep doing the same thing, looking for a different result, but we already got multiple, we got multiple times when people try to approach this method, and unfortunately, it was a cataclysmic disaster. But that's something to think about. I digress. Let's keep diving into it.
Freeze triggered shortages and even more inflation. And then 90 days later, he got rid of them. In Venezuela, Hugo Chavez went on a socialist spending spree, which sent food prices skyrocketing. So he had the same idea as Harris and capped food prices. And Venezuela went from one of the richest countries in the world to one of the poorest. Price controls aren't a new idea. They're just a bad one.
It is a device that governments have repeatedly resorted to try to cover up the effects of their own policies. It is offered as a cure for inflation. It is not a cure for inflation. It has never been a cure for inflation. It is an alleged cure that is far worse than the disease.
The government setting food prices didn't work for Rome, the Soviets, Nixon, or Venezuela. But Kamala thinks she can just wave her magic wand and voila, capitalism disappears. This was her campaign's first opportunity to show us her economic vision, and it turns out she's blind as a bat. We all waited a month to hear what Kamala believed in, and she finally told us it's communism. After Kamala said she was going to choose the price of cheese, Bernie Sanders released a statement calling it a very important step forward, or backward. The princess doesn't understand basic math. She thinks supply and demand means when she demands something, the intern supplies it. Kamala's communism would have come out in a primary. And for those Democrats watching,
Hey now, we gotta stop here, man. You gotta stop this, man. We gotta protect our black queen, don't we? Gotta protect our black queen, Princess Kamala. We can't let him talk about her about this, her. Calling her a communist? I mean, her ways are a little bit Marxist. That sounds a little bit somewhat like communism, but no, that's Kamalaism, man. Protect our queen. Oh, wait a minute. She not black? Oh. Well, over here, don't we got the one drop rule? Don't that count for her? Oh, she ain't even got one drop. No Adolfs? I'm just joking, y'all. Let me keep going.
primary is when politicians compete with each other and do interviews, take questions from voters, and tell us what they believe in. But why bother with democracy when coronating a mysterious princess makes it easier on the Democrats and much easier for her? Kamala can wave her magic wand and build millions of new homes across America.
By the end of my first term, we will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. In addition, while we work on the housing shortage, my administration will provide first-time home buyers with $25,000 to help with the down payment on a new home.
Kamala spent $8 billion.
Now I'm gonna stop here real quick because I'm gonna tell y'all about a program that they got right now for first-time home buyers. It's called NACA. It's offered through Bank of America. If you go through the program, they will give you $25,000 in grant money right now, and it will help you get your score up to a 620. I think that you might even qualify if it's at a 580. I will put the description in the link, y'all. So this is not nothing new or whatever, but I mean, let's be honest. If you announce that now, I mean, who's to say that a person won't add that to the price of their home. Or you know what? That you getting a grant anyway. You could just add that 25 to my selling price, you know? I mean, that's what I would do if I was a homeowner. But I digress.
And she built 7 charging stations. You think she can build 3 million homes? The guy she's running against builds things for a living. If you want a new home, I'd vote for that guy. And she's going to hand anybody who wants to build their first house a check for $25,000. Do you hear that sound? If you listen closely, that's the sound of every home seller raising their listing price by 25 grand. This just drives home prices up more. Just like
See, he just took the words right off my mouth. Damestradamus.
Electric cars or college tuition. When the government subsidizes, the price goes up and the country goes deeper in debt. Kamala doesn't care. She's got a wand and a dream, and she's going to wave it until her wrist gives out. She wants to get rid of private health insurance. Poof. And pick the price of drugs. If Big Pharma says that's illegal, she'll make their patents go poof.
Hey, saw you watch one of Crown Fit.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all didn't want to see that, but I'm broke over here, man. You see, I ain't even got the picture in window. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm a struggling stream YouTuber, man. I need the HBO special. Hook a brother up, man. Hook a brother up. Don't worry, we'll get back to it in just a sec.
But you didn't pick up the.
For any drug where they fail to play by our rules, I will snatch their patent so that we will take over. And yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. Yes, we.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to Anton Daniels, man. You see this woman? This woman sitting here, yes, snatching dreams out the air, y'all. She gonna snatch all the dreams. Just, hey, whatever you dream about, yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. Yeah, just out of fickle air. No consequences. Oh my goodness. See, this is that dangerous. That's dangerous. Very dangerous. But let's dive deep.
We can do that.
And
conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris.
I want to bring the conversation back.
Union, et cetera, it leads to shortages, it leads to black markets, plenty of uncertainty.
It sounded a lot like this notion that we were going to set price controls and that we were returning to the 1970s.
Wow, you see, even her own network is going against her. MSNBC? I mean, they're normally the most left part of the media left. Yeah, they the most leftist media out of most media. Besides CNN or something like that, right? But I digress. Let's continue.
You can't pay more than, let's say, $2.50 for milk. And if you do, we're going to charge the grocery store with some criminal act. And obviously this hasn't worked, these sorts of policies in Venezuela or Soviet Russia.
Kamala is supposed to be the puppet princess. And now the media is freaking out because she's telling everybody she's a commie. Obama's economic guru tells the New York Times this isn't a sensible policy. Washington Post calls it a gimmick. The Atlantic calls her plan economically dumb. USA Today says, don't fall for it. Charles Gasparino reports Wall Street is working overtime this weekend, warning clients that Kamala is clueless about business. She was supposed to be the corporate America candidate. Lobbyists would be telling her what to do. She's not supposed to have any ideas of her own, or at least she's not supposed to be sharing them. And now she's promising breadlines and free houses? Those donations are going to dry up if she keeps telling voters what's going on in that little head of hers. No more policy from the princess unless it's approved by the media and donors.
Hey, don't be talking about our sister like that, man. You can't do that, brother. You can't talk about Kamala Harris like that. She graduated from an HBCU. She got to have the highest education. Oh, that was funded by the Rockefellers too? Oh, man. Well, she got to be smart, right? Yeah, let's see. I'm sure she's gonna let us know. She's gonna show us. Watch.
The ones who whacked Biden, and they can whack you too, princess, if you talk without their permission. Kamala will probably get out of this by doing what she's done her whole career. Did I say price control? I don't believe in that anymore. Kamala's already in the White House. She could do everything she's campaigning on today. So why isn't she?
Yesterday, Kamala laid out her so-called economic plan. She says she's going to lower the cost of food and housing starting on day one. But day one for Kamala was 3.5 years ago. So why didn't she do it then? So this is day 1305. We're at 1305. So why isn't she doing it now? Why doesn't she get away from her nice little place with her wonderful husband?
Look, guys, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm not gonna go into her history and, personal history, nothing like that. I'll just say that her track record in the courts, how she locked up a lot of melanated people. I'll just say that, or people that were poor and underprivileged, for minor offenses such as like small amounts of marijuana possession for over 50% of the time that it would be normally assessed in California. She has a terrible track record so far, and I think we should really carefully discuss how we're going to deal with, her as president trying to do the same thing that really crushed other countries like Venezuela. So what y'all think? You think that her plan is a capable plan? Do you think it can be tweaked? Put something in the comments. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to tell me your vote. Just tell me what you think about the policy. Tell me about, like for instance, what these skits I've put on here. Tell me what you think about the future and where we're going. Because at the end of the day, please like, subscribe, dislike, do what you like. Because we dive deep. Mind take.